Welcome to the Daily Dose of Dopamine with Dr. Robert Cochran and me, his first follower, who really truly didn't get this and stuck around long enough to understand why we do this. And I have had this much experience very recently in doing this live. Other than that, it's been on a Zoom screen.
That's right.
And you got to teach live today to a group of people with Parkinson's.
It's a huge deal, Susan, because you look back, this was what it was meant to be when I first started my PhD program, right? It was all laid out that way. I'd run several workshops. I could see, this is how it would work. And then the whole thing had to just get completely bottled and reformed and caught into this form that it by all means shouldn't have worked in, right? Online improv, pshaw. And it did, and it does still to this day. And at the same time, a couple of things came up today, which we talked about earlier, but we can explore here to say that, some of the intimate elements of communication in terms of body language, in terms of connection, in terms of feeling emotion, they really got pronounced. We were playing a game called Emotional Symphony, where there's just 6 people in this group, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. One labeled this group angry, and this group labeled that one joyful. So I had the 3 of them each get together and kind of determine emotion and a sound that would determine what they were. And then as the conductor, I would play them up or down, different levels of higher or lower intensity for anger and joy. And then I did this thing that was just kind of new today. I said, I want you to throw your joy at the other group, or I want you to throw your anger at the other group, or bring it together, And at the end of it, a woman grabbed her chest basically and said, when they were throwing their joy at me, I was so moved. I saw it. I felt it, and that I think we have a hard time getting that across. Not that we don't get emotion across on Zoom, but the level at which she was affected was palpable.
I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Wow, there's so much we pick up from body language that you could see someone, the whole of someone right now. You can only see me from here up. And whether it's tension or joy or something coming through, or questioning or giggling or whatever, you're going to pick up things to play with and play off of. And that's not having done that before, I didn't know what I was missing. It's pretty weird that I grew up in the improv world on a Zoom screen.
Yeah. You're amongst the first ever in the history of humankind to have done
right.
that, so
our group, right?
Yeah, because we started not long after the pandemic shut everything down. We were very early Zoom adopters, mind you. And a lot of people were on Zoom, but very few people were doing improv on Zoom.
Sure. Yes. And in the Parkinson's arena.
Yeah, put that on top of it as well, right?
Right.
So no, there's no doubt we're pioneers in that regard. And it forced a certain level of practice. And the greatest benefit we've talked about more than once is, of course, it shrunk space. How you in Austin and me in Las Vegas at the time would have ever connected in my previous program, I don't know. I may not have happened.
Right.
I don't see the bridge there because you're no fan of Las Vegas. I know that.
And I thought I was no fan of performing or having any level of public kind of presence. I didn't feel like I needed that in my life, or I was that person.
Honestly, you'd be one of those people, and I put this bias out there, who, were you to receive a flyer about my program, you probably would look right past it, right? And I know that's why I hate when my program gets put out there on a newsletter or with 50 other flyers, because,
you miss the dynamism.
Yeah, I love your phrase, not for me. And I don't mean that you necessarily said that about this, but that's... A lot of people feel that.
It's not enough. It's barely 2-dimensional on a little piece of paper. Mm-hmm. Whereas what we do is 3 at least dimensions.
when you add in senses and emotions, I don't know where you put that in dimensionality, but that I still remember. I know we're at time, but I do remember early on in our Davis Finney Ambassador program, it was when we were playing a game, and I remember the first time I layered in senses and emotions on top of the building. And I remember your eyes kind of lit up when we talked afterward, and you said that made sense what you just did. It's like
It still affects me that way.
Yeah.
If I'm doing mind putty and maybe I'm not seeing anything, if then I put a sense in, smell or listen or something, it becomes instantly real, whatever it is.
And then your emotion layers on top of that.
Because
And-
I have something I know, I'm responding to something.
Yeah.
It's magic.
It is.
In live 3D. Yeah.
We'll keep bringing it. We'll see you on the next dose.
Okay.